I'm Jimmy, and I do software engineering.
This is terrible.
What is software engineering? Those of you who don't know, it's someone that designs, writes, and tests computer programs, or any kind of programs. There's like phone programs, which are basically just tiny computers. And they basically do the creative design and work necessary for the development of the program. So many people confuse, or they use programmers and software engineers interchangeably, but they're not really. Like, coders are considered the people who actually do the work. Like, they know all the intricacies of the languages and stuff. So pretty much they do the work, but the software engineers are the ones that give them the diagrams and stuff to actually do it. So they pretty much, I'm not being mean to the coders, but the software engineers pretty much do most of the work, and the coders just put it into the actual language. And some daily tasks would be improving programs by conducting system analysis and designing system specifications and standards. So, I mean, if you're interested in that, then I think this is a good field. And they also have to, so they basically work alongside coders every single day.
Where are you going?
And they just design diagrams and stuff. And that's what the coders have to put into the language. And yeah. There. So for my interview, I interviewed my dad actually because he's a software engineer. He worked for Oracle for like 20 years. Now he owns a small company. So I asked him what skills or personal qualities are good for being a software engineer. He said you want to be detail orientated. So basically you don't want to look at you want to look at the big picture, but you need to look at small details and see if it works. Also, you got to be analytical. You have to be able to understand a problem and see the trade-offs between what you want and what you don't really need. And you also have to be a good listener. You have to be able to listen to other people's feedback and kind of ask the right questions. And you also have to be a good communicator, be able to project your ideas out. Because if you can't, then no one's going to understand what you're thinking, even if it's a really good idea. When I asked him, what is your advice to somebody interested in software engineering, he basically said to set up a software development environment, so like a dev environment at home or something if you're interested, because it doesn't cost any money. And he also said to just look into new technology and see if that interests you, read about it, try some. And I asked him if he works in groups or solo and solving problems, and he said usually because software engineers sometimes code, not that much, but he said if he's writing code, then he works by himself, but if he's presenting an idea that he had, then they have to work in groups. And I asked how can software engineers benefit the world. I mean, software engineers pretty much are needed for every company, so I mean everything you need, there was a software engineer that helped that, phones, computers, everything you can pretty much think of. They can also predict complex outcomes of weather and stuff. I mean, there's numerous things. And what changed in the field of software do you expect to see in the future? He was basically saying more technology moving to phones. You want to be people want constant access to stuff, and that's not going to change. That's going to keep getting more advanced. And improvements in network speed, Google Fibers rolling out across the country in certain areas, and that's going to greatly improve some software aspects. And then more focus on security, because there's been data breaches and stuff, so I mean it's important to get security. And then there we go. So I picked Purdue because it excels in the field of computer engineering. basically, you can't really get a software engineering degree. You can get, most software engineers get either like a computer science degree, a computer engineering degree, or like an electrical engineering degree. So this is a computer engineering degree at Purdue. So basically, you have like 49 full hours, or credit hours for that section. That's the computer engineering, the actual, what you're focusing on. And so that would be like, you have to take like linear circuit analysis and stuff. Like you have to take a seminar, which that's kind of just, that's pointless, but, then you have to take the general engineering, which is just, I mean, it's not specifically for what you're doing, kind of like what we're doing, where it's just, it's not centered on one thing. And then, obviously, you gotta take some math, but you can test out of some of those, because obviously it's engineering, so it's heavily math, but you can test out of most of those. And then science, you take like physics, chemistry, biology, you can pretty much take anything you want. But then you got like communications and stuff, and the rest are just, you can take whatever other electives you want. So, I picked Purdue because it's, like, obviously it's really good, but it's a little expensive though. It's like, I wanna say $29,000 a year for tuition, plus like $10,000 for more, so that's pretty much like $40,000, which is kind of crazy, but like, it's like top 10 in computer engineering in the country, and it's really close to home, so you don't have to like fly. You don't have to fly when you come home. And Purdue also has some internships available. Not that many. They have some with companies, like partnerships, like a company called Two Red Beans, which is actually a Chinese dating website. I don't know what they do. I can't imagine, but yeah, Two Red Beans. I don't know. It's a Chinese dating website. That's all I know. And like an indie game company that they work with. Yeah, so there's a lot of opportunities at Purdue for an engineer or a computer engineer. And so basically most people who get a computer engineering degree but that want to be a software engineer are usually hired like within the first 3 months out of college, because as I said, every company needs pretty much at least one software engineer. So, and whenever there's new companies, like I want to say Google they have hundreds, maybe thousands of them. I don't know. I forgot the number, but they have so many. And the average software engineer in Chicago makes $102,000 annually, which obviously fluctuates depending on the company. And like I said, like companies there's like Google, Twitter, Facebook, Intel, Yahoo, Apple, they all use software engineers. They all use hundreds of them, at least those companies, because it's just, they need so many to keep up with all their servers and stuff. And it is projected that in like the next 10 years there's going to be like a 30% increase in the number of software engineering jobs.
This is going on
So
9 minutes.
they're not gonna go away, so there's opportunities there. So overall I think software engineering is really an up and coming field. Like it's a ride, but I think it's only gonna go further, and I think if you enjoy solving problems on computers using technology and you have a strong math background,